Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to explain to you how a country in Africa, Nigeria, has almost 200 million people. Now to put that in perspective, Nigeria has more people than Spain, France, and Germany combined. It actually has almost as many people as the entirety of Brazil, and it has more people under the age of 35 than the United States. Now, if we were to look at Africa, and you didn't know the countries, which one of these would you think had the most people? Now, you probably wouldn't guess any of these because this is desert up here. It's the Sahara Desert. You probably would guess one of these. Now, personally, I probably would guess this one because it's the largest, has a lot of green, but that's the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it has about 80 million people, not even close to 200 million. My second guess, maybe South Africa, not even close. Third guess, maybe Angola, maybe Mozambique, maybe Ethiopia. None of those would be correct. I'd probably take my sixth guess to be this one. This is Nigeria. Why does this country have so many more people than any of these other countries? Well, that's what I'm about to explain. This is a closer look at Nigeria, the seventh largest country in the world, at about 200 million people. Now, back in 1992, Nigeria had just 100 million people, and in 1965, it had just 50 million people. So clearly, Nigeria's population is growing very quickly. Now, Nigeria has a fertility rate of 5.7, so it's unlikely its population is going to decrease anytime soon. Now, to put that in perspective, a birth in Nigeria occurs every 4 seconds, but a death occurs only every 14 seconds. So every year, Nigeria adds about 5 million people to its population, and that's roughly the equivalent of Colorado. Now, for the meat of this video, why does Nigeria have so many people? Well, there's several reasons. Number one, Nigeria has extremely fertile land. That means it's very good for farming. So what happened was, in the past, many foreigners came and migrated to Nigeria and just never ended up leaving because the land was so good and it was a great place to work and build a family. One reason why Nigeria has such fertile soil is because it has the Niger River, which flows through it to the ocean, creating the Niger Delta. Now, deltas tend to be extremely populous regions, as can be seen in Egypt and Bangladesh. Deltas tend to have extremely fertile soil, which is good for farming, and have a large number of fish and wildlife, which is very good for building a community. Now, specifically to Nigeria, its delta has something else, and that's oil. Since 1975, Nigeria has actually been Africa's lead exporter of petroleum, and 75% of all of its profits have been from this oil. So clearly, it's a good place to live, and it's brought a lot of wealth with it. Finally, Nigeria has very poor sex education in its schools, and many people still have a very negative connotation with contraception and abortions. Nigeria has very many traditional families who kind of believe that more kids equals more wealth. They believe that their kids can be put to work in the fields and that they will provide for them in old age. And they also have such a high infant mortality rate that they think if you don't have many kids, you may end up with none at all. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and don't sleep on Nigeria.